just before I forget. Nice to see all of your beautiful faces and some black squares, which I'm sure you're looking good behind those.
Hello.
Hello. All right, Jeff, do you take it away?
Yeah.
I'll keep an eye on the participants here.
Yeah, just guys, if you could go ahead and mute yourselves, and please do feel free to turn on the video so we can all get a little bit uncomfortable together. So, seeing as I'm in Austin now with Jess, morning y'all, you know, when in Rome, and Austin is the Rome of Texas.
What?
Yep. You know, capital,
Oh yeah.
eclectic, you know, started by guys who were raised by wolves, I think. Is that accurate?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You know, Rome. Okay, whatever. So welcome to this collaborative, just give me a second, breathwork session, just so we can handle that, between the SFE and Brendan Powell. I just got a couple notes here. That's why I'm looking down. I think they're important to touch on. The power of breath cannot be over or understated. It is obviously a life-giving energy, but it also has the power to alter our state of consciousness, regulate our nervous system that's both up and down regulated, depending on what you need, and change the wavelengths. Meaning a very concentrative state, very focused, into a contemplative state where you're kind of meandering in between focused and meditative, all the way down into thetas, and ultimately you can also go into a dream state. Hey Rizwan, what's up, buddy? It's important for performance of all kinds of metrics, whether it's physical or mental performances, and stress management. So when the world is trying to constrict you down from its pressures, and it's not doing this on purpose, it's always doing it for you. Breath is a great way to counter this. And what I mean by that is, like, example, we used to use something called box breathing. It was, you know, made up by this guy, Colonel Grossman. I have my thoughts on it that are here nor there, but the idea is as soon as stress starts to happen, our ability to connect with our parasympathetic nervous system is pretty instantaneous with the power of breath. And today, taking us through what will be, honestly, I think for you guys who haven't done something like this, you're gonna be surprised at what's gonna happen today. How long you'll be holding your breath for, and what's gonna come up for you. That's one of the reasons we want to do it in the morning, so you have all day to sit with this magic that's gonna flow through you. So today we're gonna be with Brendan Powell. Brandon, please take it away, buddy.
Thank you, Jeff. So good to be with everybody today. We are going to be practicing the Wim Hof method style breathing, looking to achieve the results and the benefits that come along with that breath work pattern. The way that I do these sessions online is because I can't see all your beautiful faces up close and personal. I can't read the body language. It's you know, I'm separated a bit. So what I've done is create a parameter so that everybody can stay within the container as we go through this process. The practice is very simple. As Jeff was saying, breath work can be extremely beneficial, and there are many styles of breath work. I'm not sure that there are as many as the Wim Hof method that have been scrutinized like it has, with over 10 years now, a decade of research on the method by one individual university, but by many universities studied all around the world, have looked at this process. And essentially, what we know is that we don't need Wim to be in our presence to make this stuff work. It is a real process that the body can achieve if you commit to the practice. It is essentially a workout. It's a workout for the cardiovascular system, the respiratory system, and we are strengthening our vascularity as we go through the process. We're also burning calories, and there is a true physiological change that occurs. Essentially, what we're going to do is breathe at a specific cadence. So breathe at a specific intensity. And you have to more or less dial this in on your own, but it's fairly cut and dry. You'll know as things are taking shape within the practice. You are doing this particular cadence for an allotted time. The basic idea is that we say between 30 and 40 breaths. What I do on these calls is I allow for 2 minutes of breathing. This should give everybody plenty of time to be in that good space. What we're looking to do is, as we breathe, we are essentially changing our complete physiology internally by blowing off CO2, essentially breathing in this way to lower our CO2 in order to have this alkaline response. And when that happens, there's like a cascade of effects. For anybody who really wants to dig into the science of Wim Hof, I really recommend going to their website and looking up wimhofmethod.com and digging in, seeing what happens there. They have made a lot of digestible science videos, and it's worth the study if you want to see the real benefits of the practice. What I can tell you is that while we're doing this today, you want to be nice and comfortable, nice and relaxed. If we were to look at the caveat, just be in a space where you don't have to worry about falling asleep potentially, or passing out even, and maybe falling over and hitting your head. So just be safe while you do the practice. I recommend that people lay down initially while they do this practice, but if you feel comfortable, sit up. Just make sure you're in a good, comfortable space and that you're not going to tip over. It's hard to understand this without ever having any background in it, but if you've done the method, you know it's powerful. If you have not done the method, you won't know until you try. So just get in there and go for it, but make sure you're comfortable. The thing is, we want to take the body offline. The breath work itself does a very good job of taking the brain and down regulating it. And that's essentially what it's doing. It's going to more or less shut down certain aspects of the brain, which is great for, it's like a Control-Alt-Delete, puts you into a space where you are tapping deep into your survival states. And this is what we're training through this practice. And I think why it's so beneficial maybe to a group like this. We are going in and basically toning the vagus nerve. And this is another avenue of study, if you're interested, is look up the potentials for the vagus nerve and everything that can be utilized when you have vagal tone in the body. So this is, it's multifaceted. There is a lot going on, but essentially it's just breathing. It's very simple. What we do is we look to take a full, complete inhale in. Now, the question, do I breathe through my nose, my mouth? It really is preference in this process. If I was to give you a recommendation, I would say utilize both. Start with a nose breath, which engages the diaphragm. When you breathe in through your nose, you'll notice, everybody do it on your own, just take a deep breath in through your nose. You'll notice that the diaphragm has to work a bit harder. And this is because the air is pressurized as we're going in. If we breathe through the mouth, we can breathe much easier and move a larger volume of air, though it is not filtered. So the idea of the nose is to filter the air, to warm the air and filter the air. And when you go through this process, what I recommend again is breathing in through the nose and through the mouth. Get a full deep breath in, because we want to complete that inhale within the allotted time. So we're moving the breath fast. We do a deep full inhale in, and then when we reset the diaphragm, as the diaphragm moves back up and into position, when we let that breath go, it's not a full exhale. It's a partial exhale that's engaged. Okay. So for the first, say, several breaths, as we're building up to our final breath within each round, because this is a system that has rounds, as we get to that final round, we take a full breath in, and you'll have one opportunity to let that breath fully go. So we let the breath all the way out, And then we take another breath in, and we're going to go into breath holds. Okay. And this is an interesting part of this practice, is that we will cycle in and out of breathing rounds followed by a breath hold. The breath hold is meant to train our body in a state of hypoxia and hypercapnia, which is low CO2 initially and then low O2. What we're going to do is, as we go through the process and we build up to the breath hold, we're going to look to extend each breath hold round longer. And this is personal. Now, I'm going to allow a space of about 2 minutes for breath hold. And some people might think that's really long, but it's not. Some people will find they can hold their breath for minutes at a time with doing this. And what we're doing with or creating this ability to hold our breath is by lowering the CO2. We trick our body into thinking that we don't need to take a breath in. And so that low CO2 state allows us to suppress the need to take a breath. But when you need to, and what I recommend is try to let the body dictate it as opposed to the mind. When you need to, take that first breath in and hold that first breath for about 10 seconds, 15 seconds. And that signals the end of the round. So we have breath work up to the breath hold, and then we follow it with one single inhale hold. We call that the recovery breath. And that breath is like coming out of, it's like if you were underwater, swimming underwater, and you come up for the big, big breath of air. When you take that breath in, hold that breath. Now let's talk a little bit about the mechanics of breathing. Your physiology, or I should say your body, your torso here has a lot of muscles that are utilized in the breath. Really, you can think from the pelvic floor to muscles in the back of the skull are working all within the breath work. And these are the muscles that, we have the ability to influence and dictate how we breathe. So when we breathe, I want you to think of breathing outward and expansive. Think of the breath first in the belly or in the abdomen, okay? And then in the chest cavity or the thoracic cavity. Think of the breath expanding not just to the abdomen walls, but to the sides of the body, right? To the back. Very important to breathe into your back as you're breathing deeply. Try to imagine, we call it breath packing in breath work practice, but we're trying to load the breath into a specific area and then pack it up. Bring the breath up as you breathe. So open and expand low, because the diaphragm is moving down. It's stretching the lungs, pulling everything down. Your diaphragm is the motor of the lungs. So if you really focus, if you want to understand how you're operating the lungs, this is through the diaphragm. When you move and take a deep breath in, the diaphragm moves down, opens, and expands. When you breathe out, it returns, and the diaphragm is essentially in this dome shape, and it sits over the pelvic floor, which is also in like an upside down dome shape. So if you imagine, we want these two pieces in alignment. And this is why I like breathing laying down, where we can stretch the spine. What we don't want is to have our lower back in deep extension, where now the two basic domes are out of position. This will cause leaking in the breath. So try to have a nice straight flat back the best you can. It's good to elevate your knees if necessary. Put your feet flat on the floor if you're laying down, or if you're sitting up, just make sure you're in a good seated position. Okay. Now, the next part is, with me, we do this to music. So make sure that you can hear well. Make sure you're in a good space, that you can let go for the next few minutes. We're going to go through this process, and essentially, after we're done, if anybody has any questions, I'll hang out and I will be happy to answer questions. And sorry, I'm trying to situate myself here. So I'll be happy to answer questions. You can throw questions up on the chat board, whatever, and I'm here for you. But before that, let's enjoy this process. Make sure you're in a nice, relaxed space. When we go through realize that breath work is not always a comfortable process. Things might come up. You might trigger various aspects of the consciousness when the brain is going through its process here. You may feel a little lightheaded. You may feel a little even blissful. There's all kinds of things. I'm interested to hear how people experienced it as we go through the process after we're done. But in the meantime, just take care. Realize that you can keep this up. You can do it. Go through the process and see what it does for you. It is a bit of a purging the first time. So you may feel, like I said, various emotions. Just keep breathing. Focus on the breath. Let everything go as you go through the process. Enjoy. Sit back, relax, cut the lights off, close your eyes as you do the breath work. Really try to get out of the body and let the mind do its thing. Enjoy. This process is easy to follow along with. Just let it go. Remember, we want to keep a certain cadence alive with the breath work. So each breath is engaged and it's a repetition. Stay with it. Stay locked in. We go for 2 minutes and then we allow a space for 2 minutes of breath hold and meditation. This is an interval. Work through it. Try to hold your breath for as long as you possibly can. Stay with the instruction. We start a little slower and then we build into a faster rhythm. Like this. Full breath in, then let it go. Full breath in, then let it go. Remember, the inhale is full and complete. The exhale is partial. We always leave residual oxygen in the lungs with each exhale. Again, full breath in and let it go. Full breath in and let it go. Full breath in, open and expand and let it go. Good. Think belly, chest to head with each breath. Pull it up. Fully in, belly, chest, and head, and let it go. Return the diaphragm to its resting position with each breath. Fully in and out. Fully in and out. Fully in and out. So if I breathe with you, it's... Now for this last 20 seconds, stay engaged with the breath, building each breath to bigger and bigger. Fully in and let it go. Fully in and let it go. And now, final few breaths on your own. Take a big breath in, let it all the way go. Then take a breath in. And let's hold this first round on the inhale hold. Full breath in and hold. concentration in the breath hold is kept at the center of the brow. Focus your intention to this focal point. Hold that space, the center of the brow. Should your mind wander, scan the body for tension. Let go of this tension. Sink the body. Let the body feel heavy. And hold focus at the center of the brow. With each breath hold, try to go longer and longer. Push yourself to go deeper and deeper with the hold. But remember, when it's necessary, we take a single breath in and hold that breath for 10 seconds to regulate the body and the system. And then get ready to join back in for another round. Stay with me. Full breath in and let it go. 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 Remember, expand belly, chest, and head and out. Belly, chest, and head and out. Remember to breathe deep into the back. Let the spine articulate around the breath. Open the body with each inhale and then shut it down with each exhale. Fully in and let it go. Full breath in and let it go. Full breath in and out. Full breath in and out. Building to the second breath hold. Make each breath engaged. Deeply in and out. Stay with the pressure. Stay with it. Fully in and let it go. Fully in and let it go. Full breath in and let it go. Last few. Full breath in and let it go. Now on your own, final few breaths. And when you're ready, full breath in, let it all the way go. Take in that next breath and hold that breath. Concentration returns to the center of the brow. Hold the space. As we move into the next round, we're going to pick up the pace a bit in the breathing. This will be our continued pace now for the entirety of the practice till we switch. Stay locked into the breath work. Stay engaged. Push yourself. Remember, when it's necessary, take a single breath in. Hold that breath. Let it go. And now join back in. Full breath in and out. 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 Stay with it. Fully in and let it go. Full breath in and let it go. Move the air. Change the chemistry in the body. Alter the physiology through the breath. Deeply in and out. Deeply in and let it go. Fully in and out. Let's go. Stay with the flow. Build the breath. Build to the hold. 45 more seconds. Stay engaged. Fully in and out. Full breath in and out. Full breath in and out. Full breath in and out. Remember, keep the shoulders nice and relaxed. The neck and jaw nice and relaxed. Let the chest open and expand without raising the shoulders. Don't squeeze the traps. Allow the shoulders, neck to be relaxed. Stay engaged. Full breath in and out. Full breath in and out. Fully in and let it go. Last few now on your own, building up to the hold. Remember, full breath in. Let that breath all the way go. Bring the breath in and hold. Concentration at the center of the brow. Start to sense your internal power. Being locked and engaged in the moment. As we stay with the breathing, we touch the survival instincts, the deepest recesses of the mind. Remember, when it's necessary, take a single breath in and hold that breath. And join back in with me. Full breath in and out. Full breath in and out. Fully in and let it go. Full expansion and let it go. Fully in and out. Fully in and out. Chase the breath. Move the air. Make it work. Full breath in and let it go. Full breath in and let it go. Fully in and out. Fully in and out. Let's go. Let's go. Fully in and out. Fully in and out. 30 more seconds. Stay engaged. Out. Full breath in and out. Full breath in and out. Go. Fully in and let it go. Full breath in and let it go. 10 more seconds on your own. Build the breath up. When you're ready, fully in. Let it all the way go. Draw the breath in. Bring it all the way up to the head. Hold the breath. In our breath holds, we want to connect deep. Connect deep to our sense of feeling. Awareness through feeling. Deeply connected to our survival mind is our intuition. To exercise and strengthen the intuition, call on the things that mean the most to you, the things that keep you centered and balanced. Go beyond the thought and embrace the feeling through the system. Bring a light smile to your face. Pull back the facial muscles, the eyes and the ears. Feel heightened as we go into the next round. Stay engaged. Remember, when it's necessary, take a single breath in. Hold that breath for 10 seconds. And join back in with me now. Full breath in and out. Full breath in and out. Fully in and out. Full breath in and out. Let's go. Full breath in and out. Full breath in and out. Full breath in and out. Stay with it. Fully in and out. Change the chemistry in the body. Lower the CO2. Raise the alkalinity. The only way to truly do this is through the breath. Let's go. Full breath in and out. Stay with it. Fully in and out. Hold yourself accountable to the rhythm. Stay in the flow. Let's go. Fully in and let it go. Full breath in and let it go. Full breath in and let it go. Full breath in and let it go. If this pace is too fast, you may always slow it down a bit, but just stay in it. Let's go. Push yourself. Fully in and out. Full breath 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 in and let it go. Fully in and out. Full breath in and out. Stay engaged. Push yourself. Fully in and out. Last few seconds. Build it up on your own. When you're ready, fully in. Let it go. Full breath in and hold. Concentration is kept at the center of the brow. This is a third eye meditation. Holding this space connects us into our nervous system and into the deepest recesses of the consciousness. Need to do nothing more than focus. Coming back into the next round. Stay with me. Full breath in and out. Full breath in and out. Fully in and out. Full breath in and out. Full breath in and let it go. Belly, chest, and head and out. Belly, chest, and head and let it go. Full breath in and out. We're pushing this round. Pushing deeper each round. Stay engaged. Locked in. Full breath in and out. 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 Let's go. Fully in and out. Remember, the inhale is complete. The exhale is partial. It is engaged. Draw the breath in and push it out through the intercostal muscles. Use the diaphragm. Fully in, expand. Let it go and contract. Fully in and out. Full breath in and out. Full breath in and out. Stay with it. Fully in and out. Last few seconds. Build up to the hold. Full breath in and out. Full breath in and out. Fully in and let it go. Fully in and let it go. Now when you're ready, last few on your own. Final breath in, let it all the way go. Draw that inhale in and hold on the inhale breath. Concentration is kept at the center of the brow. Call again on your own personal power. Elevate by signaling to the nervous system that you are in a safe, strong place. This is an internal practice. Call upon the things that mean the most to you and hold them centered. Feel them. As we move into the next round, stay locked in. Full breath in and out. 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 Fully Fully in and out. Full breath in and out. Let's go. Full breath in and out. Full breath in and out. Fully in and let it go. Fully in and let it go. Be expansive with the breath. Extensive with the breath. Let the belly extend out. Reach with the breath. Fully in and let it go. Full breath in and let it go. Full breath in and let it go. Full breath in and let it go. Stay locked in. Breathe deep. If you feel tingling or cramping at the fingers, the toes, the nose, the lips, this is all normal. Let the body do its thing as it adjusts, adapting to the stress with each breath. Full breath in and out. Full breath in and out. Let's go. Fully in and let it go. Fully in and let it go. Stay locked in for the next 20 seconds. Push yourself right up to the hole. This will be our last inhale hold. I want you to practice one more time with a full breath in. Let it all the way go. Then draw the inhale in and hold. Concentration is kept in the same place with each repetition of the breath hold. Center of the brow, seat of consciousness, hold. Into the next round, we are going to start practicing our breath holds with an exhale hold this time. I'll bring the instruction towards the end of the round. Stay engaged, stay locked in. If you have not already, take a single breath in and hold that breath. And then join back in. Full breath in and out. Full breath in and out. Let's go. Full breath in and out. Full breath in and let it go. Full breath in and out. Full breath in and let it go. Hey, full breath in and out. Stay with it. Full breath in and let it go. Hey. Push yourself. Work the practice. Full breath in and let it go. Full breath in and let it go. Fully in and out. Fully in and out. Fully in and out. Go.
Stay with it. 20 more seconds now on your own. As we build up to this breath hold, we're going to take our final breath in, let it all the way go, then draw in that inhale, partially let it go, and hold. Build up, and when you're ready, fully in, all the way out, fully in, let it go, and hold. Focus. Hold your concentration. A couple more rounds together in this pace. Stay with me. Stay engaged. Let's do it. Full breath in and out. 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 Full breath in and let it go. Full breath in and let it go. Fully in and out. Fully in and out. Let's go. Full breath in and out. Fully in and out. Full breath in and out. Stay with it and let it go. Fully in and out. Work it. Fully in and out. Moving deep into this process. Stay engaged. Let it go. Fully in and out. Fully in and out. Fully in and let it go. Full breath in and out. Go. Fully in and let it go. Full breath in and let it go. One more minute. Push yourself. Stay with it. Let's go. Fully in and out. Fully in and out. Belly, chest, and head and let it go. Belly, chest, and head and out. Let's go. Fully in and out. Fully in and out. Fully in and out. Fully in and out. Belly, chest, and head and out. Belly, chest, and head and let it go. Full breath in and out. Full breath in and out. Last 20 seconds. Push yourself. Stay with your rhythm. Move the air. Move the body. Change the chemistry. When you're ready, fully in. Let it all the way go. Take a full breath in. Let that breath go partially. And hold. Let's do one more round together after this hold. Extend this hold for as long as you can, not needing to draw a breath in. Engaging the vagus nerve. Smile to yourself. Let that smile reach deep. Smile to your shadow. Let yourself know that you are good. Embrace the warmth, embrace the love. Feel yourself move into this next round with power, conviction. Hang in there. When it's needed, we take a single breath in and hold that breath. And then join back in for this final round. Push yourself. Here we go. Full breath in and out. 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 Let's go. Full breath in and out. Full breath in and out. Belly, chest, and head and out. Belly, chest, and head and let it go. Fully in and out. Fully in and out. Fully in and let it go. Full breath in and out. Full breath in and let it go. Go! Fully in and out. Fully in and out. Belly, chest, and head and let it go. Belly, chest, and head and out. Full breath in and out. Full breath in and out. Let's go. Fully in and let it go. Fully in and let it go. Last 30 seconds. Push yourself. Move the air. Make it deep. Make it powerful. Stay with it. Full breath in and out. Full breath in and out. Let's go. Fully in and out. Fully in and out. Belly, chest, and head out. Expand in all directions and let it go. Fully in and out. Last few seconds now on your own. Build up to that hold. Fully in. Let it go. Fully in. All the way out. Full breath in. Let it go. And hold. Hold space for yourself in this final hold. The breath is our interface with the environment. Each breath holds us to life. as it's needed, and when we return to our normal breathing, let's optimize that breath. It is the inhale that excites the body and the exhale that releases that excitement and relaxes the system. Take a breath in now through your nose, as the nose is our optimal breathing mechanism. Count that breath, 3 or 4 seconds. And then when you let it go, let that breath go twice as long. Count in 2, 3, 4 on the inhale, and then on the exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Full breath in on the inhale, and then make it nice and long and controlled on the exhale. Stay with the breathing now on your own, optimizing. Nice and controlled. Full breath in, 2, 3, 4. Let it go, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again now, my friends, return to your normal breathing and make sure that in this optimal breath, we breathe through our nose the best that we can. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, letting it go with a nice, long, complete exhale. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And I'm very interested to know how you might have felt through the process. Take your time returning. If you have no questions, no worries. But anything that you might like to discuss.
Hey, Brendan. That was great. I don't know if you have like do you have a cool down period here for a bit, or
Yeah, please,
to start
please.
chatting?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, guys, I'll get it rolling if you don't mind. Check in with what came up, parts of your body that started calling on your attention, parts of your mind, and then I just want to give some thoughts. One of the things among many in which I do recommend you ask Brendan questions about afterwards is you're realigning yourself with this breath work. You can start to feel probably your body shifting. You know, you're adjusting your body, you're finding, okay, where's the sore spots? Where's the tense spots? Where's the parts where I have muscle contraction that's putting me off balance, perhaps from sitting, from posture, from overworking one side over the other. And you start to feel that loosen up. One of the things Brendan calls to is your third eye, bringing your attention up through your head and into your third eye. Take a moment, close your eyes, and think about the balance in your head and what that feels like. Does it feel like there's almost more concentrative energetic power on one side versus the other? Just take a moment and think about that throughout, if that felt any kind of imbalance for you. So one of the things that happens in our very linear world is we tend to use our left side of our brain a lot more than our right side. It's actually shown that in autopsies since about the 1400s, one side's a little bit bigger in the skull. And it's not because the skull doesn't allow for it. It's because we don't think in balance. That's when The printing press was invented. It used language, and language is much more a left brain thing. And my point on that is we bring it up to the third eye, we start bringing in that balance, starts activating the pineal gland, potentially some DMT is released, helps you start to clean out your hippocampal memories and stuff like that. In Vedic training, they call this the Atman. So up through your center, your spine, from the root all the way up to the crown, you start to line your chakras, as they call them, big ganglias, nervous system, blood vessel groupings that move up along your spine, of course. And the Atman is when you can get up into that third eye and your whole body feels balance in its environment. It feels safe. Blood is moving around properly, nutrients, hormones, all those kinds of things. And I bring this up for two reasons. One, the next step is what we call the Brahman in Vedic training. And that's when you're able to move out and you come above, and you'll see that the rest of your ego sensory system shuts down and you move to this next state where you are an undifferentiated consciousness. There's, many ways to get there. Both love-based and fear-based emotions. Being extremely scared can move you into that presence in a less than ideal way. Also high vibrational love emotions, also plant medicines, things of that nature. The reason I mention this for the guys who have done the process and guys who are about to do the process, if we picture my alignment, and we just pretend like you can see my nervous system spreading out through my body, just the nervous system for now. What we do is picture like a punch to the spine, where the spine goes, its energy, it's unable to hold its form and it warps its energy. That's what we do to your nervous system. Now, we just spent, a little less than an hour with Brendan or whatever. I can't see the time. With the process, we have the time leading up to it and then 8 days to do this warping. So you can imagine the amounts of stress we put on your nervous system. And we bring breath into it. It's not your last bastion, but as the environment constricts you down, as you saw, you're holding your breath, you still have your cognitive faculties, your prefrontal cortex. And that's the last bastion before you pass into undifferentiated consciousness. I mentioned that because that's, like Brendan said, hold on to your whys. What do you love? What keeps you going? And then juxtaposed to that is the pain that's coming up for you, and learning how to move that pain, recenter, focus on what's important. I really strongly recommend you ask yourself what came up through that, both in your body sensations, like for pain. Oh, okay, yeah, I felt that in my neck. Oh yeah, I sit at a computer all the time or whatnot. Or tensions that came up in your mind, or of course, blissful moments. Focus on those blissful ones. I'm going to hand it back over to Brendan, guys. He's a wealth of knowledge in all kinds of ways. Please ask him some questions. Just
Definitely feel free to unmute and just ask too.
Hey, Brandon, a question around the tingling sensations that you mentioned around the extremities. If you don't, well, I didn't experience that. So is that something that should be considered moving forward or thought about?
No, not at all. I mean, you may practice. Was this your first time ever doing the process or the practice?
For this long, yes. Yeah, for this long.
What did you experience?
The music, really. I was just bouncing and kind of floating a bit. My hands did get kind of cold. That might be because the room is cold, but the rest of my body felt pretty warm.
Well, the blood moves away from the extremities in the process. So if you're doing this practice and you're in doing it intensely, you're going to have blood moving away from the extremities towards the core, just like any survival practice when it's very sympathetic in nature. So if your hands got cold, your feet got cold, anything like that you experience, that is blood moving away from those digits. I don't get a lot of those sensations either when I do the breath work. I can force it. I can force those sensations. But the idea is to not force. So,
Right.
have maybe take the practice on by yourself at some point and see how you feel, maybe without any music, without anything distracting you, and and see if that changes your feelings in the system, in your system. There's there's nothing to say that one thing is right and one thing is wrong, if that helps answer anything in that question. You're not supposed to feel it necessarily, but you can feel it. Does that make sense?
Got it. Cool. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Hey, Brandon. I was just curious, what's the general cadence of the breath work? I'm just trying to take notes here for myself.
You mean as far as like the tempo that I was using there in the music, or?
Yeah, like what's the starting level, and like I know that we build up to it, but like what's the baseline for it?
Well, the reason that I do it the way that I do is to try and give people I want them to push into the breathing. And if sometimes when people do this process on their own, they say, I had this one experience, but it was nowhere near as powerful as when I got with an instructor. And I had the same experience for myself when I trained by myself, and then when I actually went and started working with Wim. It doesn't necessarily have to be the fastest breath, though we do kind of I guess we compartmentalize the two ideas of, like, you have this the basic idea of the Wim Hof breathing, which is a full breath in. So whatever that means to you, full breath in as fast as you can draw that breath in, right? You just want to make it nice and complete, and everybody's a little different. So you get a full breath in and then let it go. You want to then attach that next inhale right to that exhale. What I do with my inhale is I draw my breath in, and there's almost like, I mean, it's microsecond, but there's a pause at the top. And this lets me know I've got that full breath in. So my cadence might be a little bit different from yours. And I know that that doesn't completely clarify the question, but the way that I try to do it is I try to find these two things. Like I said, we have this basic idea of the Wim Hof breathing, and then we have what we call the power breathing. And that power breath is within the Wim Hof practice. So what I try to do is kind of give you, especially on these calls, like a little bit of both. I want you to feel that kind of base pace that we did in the beginning, which is at 70 beats or 75 beats. I can check my tempo. Yep. No, sorry, 85 beats. It's at 85 beats on these songs. So when I do my first breath, it's more and I don't think that that pace is too slow. I think you can get a really deep experience with that. But I recommend playing with it a bit. Now, here's the thing. We know that if you stay locked in and are breathing with that type of intensity for 30 minutes, you're going to change your chemistry. You are going to lower the CO2, which is what the effect is that we're looking for, and raising the alkalinity. This is so that we can get at peak adrenaline states. The idea with the Wim Hof method is to draw out the adrenaline. We want to raise our adrenaline essentially in regards to suppressing immune function, or let's say inflammation, cytokine inflammation. We want to essentially be able to use our adrenaline to affect this aspect, especially in the face of stress or pathogen or something that is affecting us. So the Wim Hof method is meant to be used in the moment, right? It's a tool that's meant to be used. Like if you practice martial arts and a fight comes, there's your opportunity to train, right? Or to use your training. The same with the Wim Hof method. I mean, we can do it as a maintenance system. But when the time comes, like especially if you were to feel sickness coming on or something where you wanted to utilize it as a real tool in the moment, then and again, we are trying to increase the adrenaline. So you have to breathe at a certain cadence, right? You can't be too relaxed in it, if that makes sense, right? I hope that
Yeah.
clarified.
No, it does. Thank you.
Hi,
Also
Brandon.
to,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, also to Henry's point, I was getting the tingly sensation in my fingers, and when I'm closing my eyes, I feel almost as if I'm reaching out into something more. I want to say, as long as it doesn't sound too weird.
No, man, this is some weird shit. So just go with it, you know. I mean, I mean, the first thing the very first time I ever met Wim, I mean, I recognized right away this is going to be weird, you know.
I didn't want to sound like a huge nerd and say I'm reaching out into the force.
Well, you know, I mean,
but that,
you
it's
did
just
sound
what I
like a nerd,
associate
but
with it.
it's cool.
Yeah.
It's like we are interacting with the field. I mean, even if it's just, you know, this breathing field, right? I mean, I believe that it goes much deeper than that. Like, I see faces here, just a show of hands. How many people did get tingling sensation? How many people did? There's a lot of hands. Yeah. So, I mean, it is fairly common that happens. But again, it's not something that is necessary, you know, with each practice. I will tell you this. I'll give you a little secret sauce for those who are hanging in there with me right now. The breath work, if you want to reach deep, if you want that psychedelic state, because this is akin to psychedelics. I mean, I've done a lot of research and study into psychedelics, and you know, if you look at the Johns Hopkins research, I mean, basically the only clear thing that we know is that the brain is shutting down. That's what we know. The brain is shutting down. The filter is going offline. Now that doesn't mean that the mind is gone. And that's a very fascinating thing, right? Brain seems to not be working so well, but you know, and you're getting this control alt delete, and then aspects of the mind are communicating with each other that don't usually do that. And I think it calls into question, you know, is the mind inside or outside? Or is it both? You know, I mean, does this form create consciousness, or is consciousness creating this form? These are the things that, you know, that I nerd out about when I'm sitting around, and so I do believe that we're interacting with a field or a force, so yeah, I totally lost your question, but the you know, I hope that you know, maybe that did something.
Oh, it wasn't a question. It was more so like a feeling. And
Gotcha.
yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh, that's right. I was going to say, if you want that psychedelic sensation, if you really want to launch, this is what you do. Take that breath in, full inhale in, draw it all the way up to the idea of like the third eye, crown of the head even. So hold it there and then apply a bit of a squeeze. So the squeeze is like a contraction from the pelvic floor all the way up to the top of the dome. Think of like breath in and then lock it in place. We call it you can look at like the bandhas in yoga, you know, but these three sort of tension points: the pelvic floor. So you can think Kegel, pulling up on the muscles, right? Locking the diaphragm in place. How do we do that? We squeeze around it. Think of like, it'd be one of the few times that I would tell you to sort of bring your hips forward a little bit, like you're doing a crunch. Just think of it that way. You're locking the abdomen in like you're crunching down on it. And then the glottis muscle, which is like your swallowing muscle here. So you think of it, the little flap that creates when we do like if you go like, you hear that vibration. That's the glottis muscle. Or if you snore, that thing, that's the glottis muscle. So we lock that in place. So these 3 points of tension, and then squeeze it up to the third eye, bring it up to the head, and make sure you're laying down, and then let it go. Don't do that driving a car. Don't do that in a swimming pool. Don't do that walking down the steps. Yeah. Other than that, make sure you're just in a nice, comfortable place, sitting on your couch, something like that, and you'll go there. Especially after the round. So if you do the 30 to 40 breaths, maybe even a little longer, and then apply the squeezes. Now, I'll give you this note too. In the Wim Hof practice, it's been studied intensely, like I said. But what the scientists look at, because they're such reductionists, they're always trying to remove all the cool stuff. So what they do is they look at just the breath, not the breath hold, but just the effect of breathing in this cadence to affect the adrenals. And they essentially look at the cold training. So the Wim Hof method is mindset, breath training, cold training. These are the three facets of the practice. And so when the scientists are studying it, they're looking at just what our breath does and what the what's happening with the cold. They don't take into consideration the mindset, which I think is the most important part. And they don't take into consideration the breath holds too much, but they say that the breath holds absolutely positively do not detract from the practice, and instead probably allow the participants more opportunity to breathe deeper into time. So meaning that they can get more rounds out of the practice, instead of just trying to hold that breathing pattern, say for 30 minutes straight with no breath holds. Now I've done both. There's a practice called rebirthing. This is an old breath practice that uses this same style of breathing, only they do it for an hour straight without any breath holds. You will find yourself fatiguing in that type of a process. So what Wim has basically done is figured out how to extend the process. But we are doing a lot of things. And again, check into the Wim Hof Method site to see what all those benefits and what they bring up.
Thank you.
Hi, Brandon. Thanks for your time this morning. And I'm sorry you can't see me. I don't know how to connect my camera to the computer, so I'm visible.
Oh, that's okay.
But anyways, so I've been doing the Wim Hof method actually for a few years now, and for a few reasons I got into it. I saw it in some podcast or whatever, so I was just curious.
That's how we all came to it.
Yeah. Yeah, anyways. And a lot of the things he talks about is like inflammation and stress and stuff like that. And while I love the method, I do it pretty much every day. Over the last two years, about my stress levels have risen exponentially, and so has like inflammation that I feel in my body. And so I'm wondering if I'm missing something, because like I've read some of the books that were written about him, like What Doesn't Kill Us and some of the other books. And so there's so much evidence that it is so very effective against like inflammation and stress. And so I'm wondering if I'm missing something, because like I'm doing it pretty religiously, and I don't seem to see any effect on that front anyways.
Are you using the cold?
Yes, I go in the, like, not so much in the summer because everything's warm in the summer, but in the winter I pretty much go in the lake every day.
Really? And that doesn't have an effect on you, or it does?
Well, it has some kind of effect. I mean, I like how I feel afterwards, but like the general level of the inflammation that I feel doesn't really go down by that, nor does the
When you say inflammation,
stress
where are you feeling inflammation?
in my joints.
In your joints.
And that's something that I haven't felt before, like before about a year and a half ago, or maybe something.
Well, I mean, I will say this. The Wim Hof method is not a panacea. I mean, it will definitely have a great effect on you if you train it. How long do you stay in the cold? I'm just curious. When you go in, like, let's say if you do a dip, how long do you usually stay in?
It depends on the day, but anywhere between 2 and 6 minutes, usually around 3, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, somewhere around there.
Yeah. Well, if you're doing that daily, that should have a pretty good effect. I mean, the accumulative effect, I'll recommend this book real quick if anybody can see it. This book right here, I have an early copy of it from the author, but it should be everywhere at the beginning of the year. This book right here is probably the best science in winter swimming or in cold water exposure. And the she recommends, I'm sorry, an accumulated time of 12 minutes a week. So if you're doing 3
Okay.
minutes at a day, that's a lot of that's a good amount of cold. The the cold and breathing to me, um, you know, it should help mitigate stress. Now, I mean, I'm curious, how's your diet? How, I mean, there are other factors, right?
Right. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, if you're in a bad relationship, the Wim Hof method might not fully help you. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things where it's like there are other factors in life that can really affect us. Now, I do think diet. I think diet is a big thing, especially in relation to joints and joint health. So it's, to be honest, I am a trainer and I'm a coach, and I integrate lots of methods, the Wim Hof method being one of them. But I do try to help people get out of pain. So if you're interested, we can carry this conversation on. You feel free to email me and we can talk some more. Jessica can attach my email or whatever. You guys totally feel free to write me questions. I will respond as fast as I can. But if you
Okay, that sounds great.
yeah, I'd like to carry on the conversation and try to see if I can help you a bit.
Wow, that'd be awesome. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
Canadian, right?
I am Canadian. Well, actually, I'm German and Canadian.
Oh yeah, well you just sound Canadian. That's why I'm questioning, because I'm
Yeah.
gonna be in Canada sometime in November. We know this now for a fact. I'm coming to Canada, and we're gonna be doing some solid training up there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, but
That is
that being said, anybody who's interested in ever looking at any of my stuff, contact at thecabin.com lists a lot of my events that I have going on. Also, the WimHofMethod.com. If you go to the North American instructors, you'll find mine is right at the top. I'm one of Wim's highest instructors. I was one of Wim's first students, and I have I have a huge schedule as far as workshops are concerned. So if you guys ever want to get with me and do some of the deeper work, please.
Hey, Brendan, if I could just say something, we'll make sure, guys, that this goes up in the Mighty Networks. We'll also post it on social so that people can get in contact with Brendan on social and on Mighty Networks. Please do post what comes up for you throughout the day, what may have been purged, what comes up through the day, how you felt about it, what you think about it, so that other people can start looking this stuff up too. But I would like to just say one thing, if you don't mind, Brandon, to Manuel's question. It happened to me, and I don't want to monopolize your time too much, so I'll just say it quickly. I mentioned earlier on about box breathing that I can't even remember his name now. I said it at the beginning. Came and he, oh yeah, Paul Grossman. And the box breathing is 4 seconds in, 4 seconds hold, 4 seconds exhale, 4 seconds hold. And it works really good at stress management until I started doing it in combat. So when I get really stressed, I'd box breathe. And then when I went home, I noticed that when I would box breathe, I wasn't like combat stress. I was just a little bit stressed, just down regulate, looking to down regulate. When I did the box breathing, it brought me right back to those super high states. So like Brendan said, Manuel, to everyone though, check your environment always for stressors. We're not looking to never have stress. We're looking to manage and live in balance with those stresses. And if you're not eliminating them and you're doing these breath practices, you're still building neural patterning. And if you do it only when you're stressed and trying to de-stress, they could couple. Now, I'm not saying that happens for sure, but I know for me, that's what happened, because I was like, what the hell, this technique used to work so good for me, but when I went and I just kept using it at ultimate high states of stress. So there can be pattern in there. That's just my thought on it.
Can I add one thing too? While I'm thinking of this, is that the Wim Hof method is meant to simulate stress. It's to train our body to become more adaptive to stress. I mean, that is the real essence of the practice. We are generating adrenaline, so it is essentially creating stress in the system, right? I mean, that's the idea of the process. If I want people to de-escalate, I have them focus on their exhale. If I was dealing with somebody who was in a full-blown panic attack, I'm not going to have them doing the Wim Hof practice. They're doing the Wim Hof practice. Do you understand? If they're in a full-blown panic attack, they are in that process. They are jacking their adrenaline. They are out of control, essentially. The benefit of doing the Wim Hof practice is that we're in full control while simulating this stress. So with the panic attack person, just like somebody who's, let's say, in an ice bath and totally out of their breath, I'm going to have them focus on their exhale. Their exhale is the key to being able to regulate the stress. So if I go into a space where I'm very stressed out, I'm not going to start superventilating. You know, I call it superventilating as opposed to hyperventilating because we're in control of it. But if we're superventilating at that moment, it's only going to increase the stress. So it's better, you know, if I have somebody who's in an ice bath, what I'm telling them to do is to get out of that breath pattern and to use the exhale as the key to that. So just like we did at the end of the breath session, where we're focusing on long exhales, this process is really important for your stress management. So in the moment, if I feel something coming on, and I mean, we all have stress, I go right to my exhale, right to regulating my stress through the exhale. And that is key.
Awesome. Thanks, Brandon. Well, I won't monopolize your time anymore.
Not at all. Not at all. You guys, it was a pleasure for me to do this. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate the work as always, Jeff. And we'll hopefully see everybody again. It was great to see everybody.
Thank you so much, Brandon. And I will email all of you with the recording. Brandon, thank you so much. I always forget about your DJing skills and your ability to do that throat singing. I wanted to set this house on fire. It was amazing. We should just have a dance party one of these days.
Dude, you know that's the next level. We take this thing and we get real serious through the day. I mean, this is literally how my retreats go. When we're real serious, we do the work. It's high intensity exercise. We're out hiking in the cold. We're swimming in the water. We're doing all this stuff, breath work practices, and then at night we party.
Amazing. Yeah. Hey, let's do an SFE Brandon Powell collab one of these days.
Absolutely.
For that. All right, guys, have a great rest of your Sunday. Sorry?
Well, we're staying on this.
Oh yeah, we'll stay on, Brandon, for a chat. And you guys have a great Sunday. We'll talk to you soon.